Hello everyone, Neorashi here, and I'm doing this a lot later than I had hoped, but I was kind of busy last week, and yeah. So after almost a week, I finally doing the the usual topic, Anime Planet topic of the month video, and unsurprisingly, I hope it is unsurprising for most of you. Uh, Today's topic is about, this month's topic is all about love. I mean, it's February, so obviously, with Valentine's Day just around the corner, depending on what time is it when I upload this, it's in either 6 or 7 days. Sorry, I'm currently recording this on February 7th. So I decided to make a top something of um, my favorite romance stories um, out of the manga that I own. So this will only include manga that I own, and this will not include Yuri. And it's not that I have anything against Yuri, but I already made multiple top something, including involving Yuri last year, and I believe 2 years ago as well. And obviously, during Pride Month, I will do it again. So today's gonna be uh, a top 26 romance story. Um, the way I'm gonna rank them is gonna be a little different. Like, it's not going to be like first place is not necessarily going to be my favorite series among those, but it will be the one which has, in my opinion, the best romance. And I'm gonna spoil, kind of spoil you a little already, but you know that I have a strong preference for cute and fluffy stuff. So there's a good chance that um, my opinions are going to be widely different from the average um, manga enthusiast opinion. So yeah, I'm this top 26 is going to be my top 26 romance stories. So for these, I will mostly focus on the romance side of things, especially for series that may or may not have more than just one subject. So let's start with number 26, Teasing Master Takagi-san. Um, the reason why it's so low is simply because although the romance, like the interaction between the two main characters, I'm just gonna have to move some stuff. Although the interaction between the two main characters are always super cute, it's really repetitive and it doesn't really progress until literally the last volume. Like there is more progression between like the side couple than the main one, which was kind of lame. At number 25, Mint Chocolate. This is one of the first um, romance that I bought when I started collecting manga, and the reason why this one is so low is um, actually because it's a step sibling story, and I know not a lot of people are particularly fond of these. But personally, I like this one because it's been a while since I read Volume One. I'm currently at Volume Seven, but if I remember right, the two have actually been in love since before they became step siblings. So I guess that makes it not as bad as, say, Citrus, where they fell in love with each other after, well after they became step siblings. At number 24, Gal Gohan, a series that I have not mentioned often in this channel. Um, the reason why it's low is just because I'm not a huge fan of the character's design. I mean, I mentioned multiple times that I don't hate fan service, but this one, although there hasn't been any like super not safe for work scene so far, I think the fan service is just there for the sake of being there. Like it's not one of those moments where it's just a couple pages worth of fan service. Like the fan service is constant, and this is getting kind of annoying. But the interaction between the two main characters, despite the age gap, is super cute. Next, at number 23 is Orimiya, and I can already feel the death gaze of some of you guys because I know this is a beloved series, but it's just that I haven't gotten far enough into the manga to truly appreciate um, the romance side of things. But I do like the interaction between the two main characters and the characters surrounding them. At number 22, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I'm putting this kind of low, even though I'm loving this series. I've read up to volume 15, I believe, so far, and yeah, it is low in my ranking mostly because, well, the first 3 or 4 volumes are just uncomfortable. I mean, I know quite a few people who gave up on this series because of the bullying, and I honestly can understand that. It does get a lot better quite early on. As I said, starting from 4 or 5, this is where the bullying uh, drops considerably. I'm not saying it stops completely, but this is where it's a lot lower than like the first, especially the first 2 volumes. But it does get better later on, and this is where the story gets good, in my opinion. So at number 21, I think we're at 21. Yeah, 21. My wife has no emotion. I praise this quite a lot because I really do like the main character, the story overall. But as far as the manga goes, the romance. I'm not saying the romance goes away, but the romance really takes a backseat in the later volume for other stuff, which kind of. I mean, I'm still loving this series, but it kind of killed my hype for it. Uh, Episode 1 of the manga is what really. No, episode 1 of the anime, sorry, is what really got me into this series, and I'd say the first 4 or 5 volumes of the manga were great, but after that, this is where things takes a weird turn, a really weird turn, especially volume 7 and 8. Volume 8, no, volume 7 was probably the worst volume of the series so far. Volume 8 was only a little better, but my favorite volumes are the first 3 are the best by far. I especially like in volume 1 uh, where Mina gets jealous of a microwave, which was very funny. At number 20, Honey Lemon Soda. I really love the character. I really love the interaction between the two main characters. But once again, what makes it a bit lower is I say it once again, but I say the drama. It's by no means the most dramatic series, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of drama could have been avoided. Like I really didn't like the interaction between Uka's father and the main guy. Like I think the drama was forced at some point, and obviously Normally, I would say I don't like bullying, but the bullying is what led to the two main characters really getting close. So I don't know if what I would call this a good thing or not, but yeah, it is weird. But I really do like the two main character, and the romance so far is pretty good. I've only read the first 9 volume. I have up to volume 10. I've read up the first 9 volume, and it is pretty good. But yeah, there are some things that makes it me not enjoy the romance as much as I would hope. At next place, which I forgot to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, at 19th place, my senpai is annoying. If you watch my review of volume 13, you probably know why this is kind of low in this list. Um, because we finally start to get romance, like real romance between the two main characters. Only like in I think volume 11 and volume 13, the ending was rushed. It skipped a lot of things that I wish we would have seen. It really should have like ended at volume 14 or 15, where we could see more with the romance. Next, number 18, Fly Me to the Moon. Again, this is a series that I love. I've recently read volume 25, 26, and 27, like almost back to back. And I really love the interaction between Nasa and Tsukasa. However, those who read the manga probably notice a massive change starting volume 15, which technically the author kind of announced it, that volume 15 was the end of first part, and then part 2 would start with volume 16. And I get that, but while there are still some lovey-dovey moments between Nasa and Tsukasa as of volume 27, I kind of feel like the romance between them has been put aside for the plot that I'm obviously not going to mention because it would be massive spoiler, and the romance between two other characters that we start seeing in volume 24. So it was kind of weird. I'm not saying it's bad. Actually, again, I love this series again a lot. One of my favorite discoveries of 2020, actually. But yeah, I am definitely the yeah the romance took way too much of a backseat in the later volume for me to really enjoy this as a rom-com. Next is Lovesick Ellie. This one is kind of weird. Like the basically the girl fanboys over her crush and post it on Reddit, and then the guy realizes who this girl is, and they end up together. They end up starting dating, and so far I've only read the first 6 or 7 volumes out of 12, and the romance is pretty standard actually. I haven't noticed much massive drama, which is why it's still kind of low in the list. But I like it. It's not like it's the only thing that's missing is like the fluff. I know not all romance are meant to be fluffy, but this one I feel like it should have been just a little fluffier because like it's too normal, I think. Like I get that some romance are over the top fluffy and other are over the top dramatic, but this one feels like right in the middle. So that's why it's not quite in the middle, but still deserving of being in my top 26. Next is She's My Knight. This one is really funny because you know all the trope, uh, not all the trope, but like all the stereotype of like the perfect guy and the tsundere girl. Well, in this series, these roles are reversed, hence the name She's My Knight. So it's your typical story with the kind of character I just listed, but the role reverse, which was a breath of fresh air. There's basically no drama there. It's not over the top fluffy, but it is still quite cute, and I liked it. Next is When Will Ayumu Make His Move? This one I really like it because you know from the get-go that the two characters actually love each other. Um, and they both try to get the other. No, that's not right. They both. I, I I like how they are both not able to confess their love, but the guy is saying himself, "Oh, if I beat her in shogi, I will confess my love," and then it. I haven't finished the series yet, but as of volume 14, like it hasn't happened. The only thing that he did defeat her is when she gave herself a handicap. But even then, the guy is like, "No, I want to win legit," which honestly is kind of noble for him. But yeah, overall, I like this series. Next is Shikimori is not just a cutie, and this one I love it so much. I've recently read volume 15, and I just love how Shikimori is both cute and badass at the same time, while Izumi is honestly kind of cute himself. Even though I'm not gay, but I still think he's kind of cute, and although he's always struck with bad luck, he always is always like super positive, super kind, and it really matches with Shikimori, which makes them it makes them a perfect couple in my opinion. Next is I believe another fan favorite, but Komi Can Communicate. Um, the reason why this one is more like in the middle of my top 26 is basically because it does take a while before romance really take place. There's another series that later on this video that will have a stronger focus on friendship as well, but romance takes a lot less time before starting to really make like an important, really take an importance into the story. But this one, I've read up to volume 19, I believe, and I don't think there's like really big hints of romance until like well there are some like love talk in volume 8, but actual romance I don't think it really appears until like volume 14 or 15, which is considering the series ended at 137, it is quite early, but still I wish it would be earlier than that. Next is Pseudo Harem. This one is both cute and funny. I just like how the guy wants to have his own harem, but the girl gives him the harem he wants by adopting multiple persona. Um, my favorite persona that she adopts is by far the tsundere, but all the other are pretty good as well. And honestly, she's just cute. Next is Itomi-chan is shy with stranger. I'm not a fan of the design of Itomi-chan, but I really do like the interaction between her and um, Yu, which is the main guy of the series. Um, like something that yeah, the interaction between the two are cute. There's a this is a pretty good senpai and kohai interaction relationship story, um, and yeah, if you like character with larger chest, I guess this is a good series, especially if you like that kind of story while still being fluffy. The fan service is surprisingly low. Although despite the design of the character, the fan service is surprisingly low, which is a good thing in my opinion. Like it doesn't feel forced or anything. I think we're at the top 10 almost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, actually we're in the top 10 now. And at number 10, 365 days to the wedding. This one, I feel like I could be the main guy in this story, because I'm not as shy as a guy on. I'm not as shy as the two main character here, but oh shoot, um, come down. Yep, sorry about that. But yeah, as I said, I'm not as shy as the two main character of that series, but I honestly do have problem making friends, and even more, getting to a relationship. I'll be right back. He's 100% going to come back before the end of this video, I can assure you. So yeah, I feel like the fake marriage thing, if this happened to me, like if my job, it's unlikely to happen, but if my job said, hey, we're opening a branch at the other side of the world, or since I live in Canada, the other side of the country would still be quite far, and I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, I would probably want to try something like that to avoid being sent away. And I've read up to volume 9, and starting volume 4, I think, the interaction between the two characters gets super cute. Volume 4, 5, and 9, especially the 4, 5, 6, and 9, those were the best so far. Next is I Want to Do Bad Thing With You. This one, this was a suggestion by Viz, YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook page. I kept getting ads for this one, and I decided to pre-order volume 1 and got it at some point. And I love how this went from the two characters teaming up to do bad things, as the name suggests, and slowly but surely became in love with one another. I thought although they don't start dating until like the last volume, I do think that the interaction between them, considering their massive difference in personality, I think the way they get closer together is kind of realistic, and that's what I love about this series. Next is the 100 girlfriend who really, 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 really love you. The only real harem in this top 26. And come on. I hate when he does that. Well, I never like when he does that, but when he does that while I record, this is especially annoying. Sorry about that. I just showed my pillow. I wanted him to get on my pillow. I didn't even want like to hit him or something. I just wanted to show him the pillow, so show him that, hey, you can rest there, because he actually likes to rest on that pillow. And he just fled. But yeah, the reason why I like this one so much, other than some of the girlfriend being super cute, is actually the main guy. Because this is more of a comedy than an actual romance, but the way he truly loves all of his girlfriends equally is something that is a breath of fresh air when it comes to harem, where there's always one girl or one guy who wins while the other lose. And in this one, everybody everybody wins, which I think is really cool. And yeah, obviously there's also the interaction between some of the girlfriends, which are also pretty cool. But yeah, the main guy of the series is one of the highlight of why I put this so high in my rom-com. Now we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7, Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. I really wish I could put this one higher on the list because the two main characters are so adorable, and I love every single interaction the two of them have. There is very little drama, but the reason why it's not higher on the list, even though it's still quite high, is because the ending is kind of crap. It is a happy ending, don't get me wrong, but I discussed this series recently, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I discussed this series with a couple friends, and one of them basically said, I heard about what happened at the end, and it makes me not want to read it. And although I still told him that he should read it because it is a good fluffy series, I do understand his reasoning for not wanting to read it. And it's not because he was spoiled. It's because of what happened at the end. He knows what's going to happen at the end, and he thinks that the ending was ruined, and I have to agree that the ending is pretty subpar. Next, number 6, You and I Are Polar Opposite, and this one I love it just because, well, the fact that the two characters are polar opposite really helps, but also the fact that they start dating right from chapter 1, and it's I love when the romance where the two characters start dating early, because although I like to see what happened before they start dating, I also like to see what happened after they start dating. And I tend to, if I had to choose or the other, I tend to prefer the one where they start dating early and we see their relationship grow after that. Sorry about that. Okay, number 5. The Dangers in My Heart. This one was pretty weird because the first 2 volumes or so are really, really, really weird. Like, initially, the guy wants to, or actually thinks he wants to kill the main girl. I don't know why. Are you kidding me? God, man. My cat is super annoying today. But yeah. But then he later realizes that the reason why he's so obsessed with killing the girl is not because he really wants to kill her, it's because he actually has a crush on her, and the girl actually turns out to have a little crush on him too. And the interaction between them, even before they start dating, because yes, they do start dating at some point, is always adorable. At number 4, Love's in Sight. I think I've praised this one multiple times in this channel, but Love's in Sight is one of the cutest rom-com that I know of. Well, not the cutest because there's 3 more, but It is one of the cutest. I love the interaction between the two main characters. I love how the girl is kind of tsundere-ish, but she still clearly loves the main guy, who is a delinquent with a pretty huge scar under his left eye. And I love how, despite uh, the guy being a delinquent and the girl being a blind girl, um, the girl is probably the more badass of the two characters, which I love. And obviously, the interaction between them are always cute. You're gonna stay with me for a bit. You're a bit annoying. Yeah. Now I caught him and stay with me. Okay, so now we're at the top 3. And at number 3, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. I actually prefer the light novel, but for the sake of this Man, how much time has it been? Like the 10th time so far? Sorry about that. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect when I started to read this. I mean, I knew I expected a rom-com, but the way they slowly went from neighbor who basically don't talk to each other to partners to like lunch partner, and no, I'd say dining partner would be more precise, to friends, to close friends, to eventually lovers. Um, I love that. I love how Mairu is, even though she doesn't start dating Amane until later in the story, I just love how loyal she is towards him, how deeply she cares about him, and how protective Amane is towards Mairu without being like overprotective or something like that. And obviously, things get even cuter when they start dating later in the story. Number 2, like, he knows I don't want him to do that because I don't even have to like yell at him or something. I just get up, get close to him, and he moves away. But yeah, volume 2. Number 2, My Clueless First Friend. If you watch the anime, you might think this is a weird one, but because in the anime it doesn't really touches the romance. I think there are some hints of romance at some point, but the anime only covers the first 5 volumes and a couple chapters of volume 6. But starting volume, I'd say 12. Well, starting volume 7, romance really starts to make a rather important aspect of the stories. But it's volume 12 or 13 where it really goes from a story about friendship into a story about romance with some of the most adorable character I've ever seen in manga and anime. And this is basically why I put this at my number 2. If you know me, you probably have a little guess of what my number 1 is. The girl I like forgot her glasses. This, as far, it's not my favorite manga of all time, but as far as romance go, this is the cutest series that I have. The two characters, both the guy and the girl, I think both are super cute. I love their overall personalities. I love how clumsy the girl is at first because... See, I just stood up and he moved away. I didn't even approach him, but yeah. I just love how the girl is kind of a klutz at first because she always forgets her glasses and sometimes she breaks them outright. and this leads to some adorable moments like these, and even before they start dating. Again, it's like most of the others on this list. Even before they start dating, the interaction between them is always super adorable, and even after they start dating, god damn it. Even after they start dating, things are even cuter actually. Volume 10 and 11 were probably my favorite volume of the series, but if we count the part where they don't start dating yet, I'd say volume 1 and 4, volume 1, 4, and 8 are some of my favorite of the series. So yeah, whew, it's been a long time since I've made a top 10 or well, top something that was that long, 30, almost 36 minutes video as of right now. But yeah, those are um, there are probably other that I should have mentioned but didn't because I have too many manga. I mean, these 26 books are not even 1% of the my collection. So yeah, but hope you enjoyed. I'm probably gonna make another Anime Planet topic of the month video at some point. Probably for well, next week actually, for Valentine's Day. I'll see what I do. I'll see what I can think of. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.